Hey guys, what's up? Hope you're having a great day. So in today's video, I'm actually going to be teaching you how to improve your movement in COD Mobile. Now, I made one of these videos a couple months ago back in season 1, but a lot has actually changed. So today I figured I would just do an updated video teaching you what has actually changed and what the new meta is. So without further ado, I'm actually going to teach you first off about peeking when you're coming around a corner. Now, there's multiple ways to do this. Of course, there's the most basic way that every new player does, where they just walk around the corner and get shot in the face. That's fine, but if you want to be an advanced player and you want to get to the next level, you have to switch it up a bit. So almost every time that I actually come around the corner now, what I do is something called a slide peek. So what a slide peek actually is, it's when you're going around the corner, make sure to click the slide button while you're sprinting, so that way you slide around the corner. But at the same time, when you're about halfway through your slide, you want to make sure to click the zoom in button, so when you come up from your slide, you're going to be zoomed in and ready if there's any enemies around the corner. So that's what a slide peek is. Now we're going to actually talk about what a jump peek is. So jump peeking is actually kind of the opposite of slide peeking. Instead of clicking the crouch button when you're sprinting around the corner, you want to click the jump button, so you come out flying in the air and they're not expecting it. And what you also want to do when you're in the air is click the zoom in button, so while you're in the air and when you're kind of landing, you can shoot at an enemy if they're out in front around the corner. So now we're going to talk about the last and probably least used peeking method. I barely see anyone ever use it. They use it in a bunch of different games, but not as much in COD Mobile, just because I think the latency and some lag issues sometimes stop it from really working. But it's called jiggle peeking, where you peek half your body out for a quick second before you actually go around the corner to check if anyone's there. And you can do it multiple times. Say, for example, if there's a sniper around the corner, you can jiggle peek, bait their shot out, and then you can push them. I don't see it used as much, but it is still a reliable peeking method. Now, out of all these methods I just named, probably the most reliable one that I use now is slide peeking. Now, that's kind of weird, because if you asked me this last season, I would have said jump peeking. But in the most recent update, they really nerfed jumping. It takes longer between jumps, and also your spread is increased while you're in the air, which really stinks, because then that means you're going to be more inaccurate than the person who's just laying on the ground trying to shoot at you. So that means that slide peeking and any kind of dropping is going to be better than jumping just in general. Alright, so now what we're going to talk about is what to do when you actually get in a gunfight with someone. That means either jumping, dropping, or moving around. Now, I am going to be going over all of those different methods, but then at the end here, I'm going to actually tell you which one is the best and what's the most used in the current meta. So first off, I'm actually going to go over jump shotting. So that means when you get in a gunfight with someone face to face, nothing in the way or anything, you can jump shot, which is just spamming the jump button as much as you possibly can while you're zoomed in on the enemy opponent and trying to aim and kill them. Now, another method is actually called strafing, and what this means is you're moving from side to side as fast as possible to kind of screw up the opponent's aim. And of course, you're going to be able to do this better with an SMG than, for example, an assault rifle or a sniper rifle. So picking what weapon you're going to do this with is very important. Now, a lot of people ask me why I love to use SMGs or an assault rifle with a stock on it, and that's mainly because stock gives you the ability to strafe. If not, you're just going to be locked down in place, and I love to move when I'm firing, so that's why I use that. Now, the final method for when you're in a gunfight, what you can do against someone, you can either crouch or drop shot, and I would recommend most of the time just completely drop shotting. And what this actually means is you hold the crouch button while you're firing in a fight with someone. Of course, you may be able to do this on 2 fingers, I'm not really sure, but I do use 4, so I'm just warning you guys that. Anyhow, drop shotting is super powerful in today's meta. It's probably the best out of all of these methods, so if you're gonna do one of them and just focus on that, then I would definitely focus on drop shotting. To be completely honest, jump shotting is almost completely dead unless it's really close range, because they did increase the time between jumps. They added some fatigue, and it also feels like your bullets are just way more inaccurate when you're in the air than, for example, when you drop shot. So I would really focus on drop shotting in today's meta. Now, before anything else, I want to teach you how I actually practice with these every day. So what I do is I go into a public domination Nuketown match, and then every time I peek from behind a car, I make sure to use one of those methods. And whenever I get into a gunfight with someone, I also try to either jump shot or drop shot. So if you actually do this daily, it's going to help you a lot, and you're going to get better at this faster than you thought you would, because you're going to go around at least 10 buses each game on Nuketown, and that's just going to get your muscle memory used to the movements it needs to do. Alright guys, so yeah, that's the basics of movement pretty much. I can't really go farther into it until you learn the basics. So once you get the basics down, you can start combining them and using more of them when you're in a gunfight. For example, say I have an MSMC, I push into a building, I see someone in front of me. Instead of shooting right away, I might slide past their field of view, hip firing at the same time, and then shoot them from the back. So you'll just start putting all of this together, and it'll just make you a better player, especially once you get the fundamentals down. Once you get those down, you'll notice that you start to become better and better and better. And even the more you practice those, honestly, you don't even really need to practice anything like higher tier techniques than that. It'll just all come to you. Now, of course, I know a lot of people are going to say, well, I play on a phone and it's a lot harder on a phone. Well, I used to play on a phone and a lot of my friends do too, and they're all really good at the game. I don't think you should let that hold you back. I just think the more practice, the better you're going to get. Anyways, guys, that's the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed. It was a lot of work. Click the like button if you did, and I'll see you guys next time.